without champagne or rum, achieve success with global.Media.com. Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with global.Media.com. Let's celebrate it with or without champagne or
I didn't put myself on stage. Imagine that. Welcome. Whoever's here, well, I'll see you soon, I guess. Welcome to today's Book to Business. I'm always excited to be here, but this is the first one we're doing that is on the live, right? It's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing, if you ask me, because there's so many more things I can do today that I couldn't do before. Of course, being a new platform, it's been a new way of doing what we do. We are working our way slowly to building our numbers. It might have helped if any had invited people, like I always do, at least of my audio events. I'm doing what I have to do, right? I've got things to do, and time just runs away from you. But I guess I intend to be here. I intend for us to have the conversations. I intend for us to learn from each other. And I intend to entertain you. That's essentially what's in my mind, what's in my head. Yeah, of course, it'll take, like I say, it takes time to build the numbers. The numbers will, they'll grow. They grow from where we are today. That's probably the reason why I've jumped on the lives as soon as we had the chance. I like many people, I could have waited for another day. Welcome, Lois. Great to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Are you thinking of writing a book, Lois? I wonder. Let me show Lois's comment because I should. I think just learning how to make this thing work it's a skill, and we're always learning. I think a lot of people are frightened by the idea. I don't know why people are frightened by the idea. Now, why would you be scared of a platform where you can still talk? There's more people here, so I guess good practice will say, if you're here, please put a comment in the comment feed so I know you're here. I'd love to thank you, welcome you. I'd love to celebrate you and maybe even invite you up. Everyone's invited up. So I will share some insights on the topic as I know it, and then I will hope that some of you will come on stage and share. Of course, you can send me comments instead. That works well enough. But since some people, of course, they send you long comments, and you expect and they expect me to stand here, make sense of it, and then respond. It's much easier if you come to the stage and share what you're thinking. So that I can give you that way we can have a conversation. That's a better idea if you ask me. But I get it. Some people are shy. Some people haven't got the space to be on video. That's fine. Look, don't be nervous. If you don't want to be on video, turn your camera off. Simple as that, right? Turn your camera off. But you can still speak. And I don't think we're going to think any less of you if we can't see you. But if you don't come here at all, don't come on stage, then people don't really know what you're thinking. They can't learn from you. I guess now for me, I still see this as a platform to build stars. That's the people I work with in terms of my clients, my friends, or people who come and speak. I think there's still a great way for us to be seen. I had an event yesterday, and how many of us were there? I think I saw 14 people in a room, and we had 2 on stage all the way through. So I'm thankful forever to Michelle Ramos and to Zara, who came to share their thoughts with Sandra and I. Me and Sandra, the same thing, right? English is such a peculiar language. Anyway, so I really enjoyed that yesterday's session because it was more as interactive as I hoped it would be. I really don't want these. I don't want my live streams, my events to be lectures where you sit there quietly listening to me waffle on, and me and my friends waffle on. Again, of course, people have different ways, right? Now, one way is that we can easily pack the stage full of people. We can pack the stage full of speakers. I'm starting to see messages, people saying, please come and be a speaker at my event. Not because they like me, to be fair. Maybe they do, but I'm saying deep down, I think it's because they're panicked about what they're going to talk about for an hour. So they just want people on stage. If that's your thinking, my friends, change it. Don't focus on the speakers. Focus on the audience. Now try and get the audience to be the stars of the show, because if you think about it, the whole thing that made audio what it was, what it is, those who have booked their events in advance, is the fact that you can bring the audience up. That's the joy of audio, right? And there's no reason why we can't do the same thing on live. No reason at all. I don't know why people haven't done it in the past. I don't know why people haven't done it routinely, because I just think that's just the right thing to do. You don't really want your audience to feel like second-class citizens while you talk at them. So today, of course, I pray that some of you will click on the link, on the StreamYard link, and then come and share it with me. So our topic today, I guess it's an important one. Whether you're thinking of writing a book, also maybe you might think about this at the beginning, but you certainly have to think about this by the time you come to me. You want me to publish your book, then you're going to have to decide what size you want your book to be. And that's what I mean when I say book dimensions, book sizes. So there's a size in terms of what we call the trim. And then there's a size in terms of number of pages. If you're wondering why they call it the trim, think about it. When you do a book, example, it's one up. See, it's why I couldn't do an audio rooms, right? So when you have a book like this, when you give it to the printers, what they would do is trim. They would put their book and then trim the edges off. Hence, it's called a trim, which gives you an idea that the trim is the height and the width. So it's passed around the book, right? It's a wonderful thing. Jay, you're here. I see you, Jay. I'm glad you're here. Go on, be brave and come on stage, Jay. Now, leave your camera off or on. It's up to you, right? Alexis, welcome as well. So glad you're here, my also friend. Jay, is our room set up for tonight? That's what I'm more worried about, right? Is our room set up? Say our rules of engagement and storytelling room tonight, of course, because necessity means it's going to have to be on live stream. I hope it's set up. Why am I not showing people's comments? So, yeah. Yes, be brave, Jay. Be brave and go on stage. Some tell me I can't make it. I know. Why do you keep sharing the comments so quick? Because what we want from these events is a lively comment stream, right? We want people who are talking to us. So if commenting is your way, then by all means. If you want to talk, which I'm sure many people actually do want to talk, then excellent. So okay, so our show is on tonight on StreamYard. Yay, brilliant. Oh, you make me laugh. Any in purple. I'm a purple person. Haven't people realized yet? I'm a purple person. That means I tend to wear purple at best of times. Yeah, okay. My accountant's now talking to me. Now what? I've checked the hub dog. There's no recent uploads. I tell you. Joker, that's what I can say. Why do people do this to me? Anyway, look, my logo is purple, so I'm not going to hide the fact that I'm more into purple than anything else in terms of what I wear and what I use. So I got a shirt that's purple. I'm sure I've got a purple suit. The more the problem, I've realized that all my suits are going towards being purple. And I'm like, oh no, that's terrible. And what can I say? I don't want all-purpose suits, so I bought a bright raspberry colored one, which gives me joy. That's my latest baby. I'm gonna do a green one. I'm gonna do a green suit soon. Oh no, can verify your password. Yeah, of course you can verify. Honestly, what is gone wrong here? I did this earlier and it worked quite well. Okay, sign with 0. Let's do that. See, on audio, I can do so many things without anyone ever seeing me being multitasking. That's the word I'm looking for, right? But on live, you're gonna have to bear with me, my friend. You're gonna have to bear with me. I think mentally, I'm prepared for things to be a bit slower when we start. Hopefully, you are too. Hopefully, you're gonna give us the grace. Because I guess in these very early days, this is what our third event, third event on this platform. So okay, so of course, which is why I'm sure many of you don't come up on camera. The fact that you're doing other things. That was the beauty of audio. But what can I say? What can I say? So we will get the same. We just need to work out a flow on here. I truly believe that's the way forward. We need to work out a flow where we know what we're doing and we're confident in what we're doing. Okay, what's happened there? Okay, so upload. That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. Anyway, in the UK, it is VAT time. That's when we submit our reports, and then we get a nice juicy bill from the government from what we've earned. It's really annoying. I hate VAT. I hate paying it. But, you haven't got much choice. So it's what it is. And I had it all uploaded. I had it all sorted, and it was all done earlier before I went to go and put my hair and makeup on. So I kind of at a loss why my accountant's saying I didn't get these documents. Right. What's gone wrong there? It's all there. It's all there. What can I do? What can I do? If anyone understands accounting software, I wish Paulette was here. Because she would. I'm sure she doesn't really know how these things work, but okay. Right, my friends. I'll come back to the book thing in a minute because I'm suddenly, I'm working on my huge bill, so I need to concentrate a bit, but I'd rather concentrate on you, of course. Okay, so my documents are there. They are there. Okay, accountants, you're a numpty. I don't know why I pay you money. I pay you good money too. But I've always had an accountant, so I can't help myself. I hate numbers. I hate crunching. I hate her numbers thing. Okay. Give me a second and I'll be right with you. I should get back to the conversation. If everyone leaves, then I'll say it's my fault. That's definitely what I would say. But I hope you will bear with me for literally 10 seconds more. And then I should have the conversation I want to have. Okay. Right. Now, do I say to my accountant, are you stupid? I won't say such words to anyone, right? I should never be so rude to anyone. I don't know, unless they annoy me enough. Okay, so now we're going to close this damn things. Oh, I need a cup of tea. I need a team to make this thing, to do this. What I need to do here, right? I need a team of people. don't think those are on there yet. Okay. Fine. Right. Okay. It's worse than they can all see me doing this, right? Everyone can see me. The days when you couldn't be seen, the days when you could hide behind the screen, those days are gone. Okay, fine. I can't do any more for my accountant. They can go and get screwed if they don't like it. Annoying. Right. I'm back to you, my LinkedIn friends. I'm naturally with you. Let's talk about what size your books are, what size your book should be. Alexis, welcome. Jackie, welcome, Jackie. Jackie, yes, of course, Alexis. Purple is a color. I don't know why I like. I've always liked purple. I don't like it. Blue. I like blue. I like blue as well. Yeah, but purple is just a color that everything in my business tends to be purplish. That's how it is. Yeah, Dr. Amaka's here. Toulouse here too. Excellent. Look, the fact that you're here cheers me up. Faith, of course, I see you too. Yes, Toulouse, come on stage. If anyone wants to come on stage, you are welcome to come on stage. I'll happily share the link for the StreamYard, and then if you want to come up, you come up. You can have your video on or your video off. For my friends with whom I do events, please make a habit of coming up on stage. I want you to see what it's like from this end. Let me have my drink. And leave me alone, Jackie. Is that purple? It's close enough to purple, right? That's more pink. It does belong to my wife, so what can I say? Okay. Right. Okay. I got some stories for you. I got some things to show you. I could do some reveals. I don't think I should do reveals today. I think I should leave reveals for now. Reveals being I've got a screen so I can show you stuff. I like that. That gets me happy. Okay, right. Where do I want to start? Right. I think, of course, those who are here, you know me, and hopefully you know me enough. If you don't know me, I just see Edith, welcome. I'm glad you're here. If I pronounce your name properly. You got me. I don't know where to start, but Edith, what I call you. If I'm wrong, just come and tell me how to pronounce it. Or send me a DM. A DM's a bit more painful than putting their comments in, right? Do I raise my hands? No, Tulu. Just click on that link, that StreamYard link that's hovering above your head. Let me share it with you again, Tulu. There's the StreamYard link. That'll bring you in the studio. You will have a few seconds being you come in the studio, you are lined up in the studio. Then I have to bring you on stage. It's only when I bring you on stage that people can see you. Of course, I can see you, in the studio. We need to get rid of this thing about what is it we're doing? What is this whole audio? This whole LinkedIn Live thing. I had a message this morning from someone saying, "What is it? How's audio gone? What are we gonna do?" I'm like, "Get over it. Get over it." It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Let me change my invite message. That way, it doesn't say we're starting soon. It says we've started already. Okay, look. Of course, my pride and joy remains my book, Lessons We Learned from COVID-19, which is, it still remains my first book. I said my next book is on the way, and so that's more about pricing, but this still is my pride and joy. Not because because we got my friends in there. There's 10 of us. I keep mentioning Tulu, one of my co-authors, because I think the content is more important than anything else when it comes to a book. And I'm lucky to have friends who contribute to the book. So with this book, there's 10 authors, 10 stories about COVID. And it's a decent sized book. It's a decent sized book. It's not a tiny book by all means. I'm trying to show you the size. All right, so you get the idea. It's not too big, not too small. Fits in your hand nicely, and it's a good read. I say when you read Tulu's story, Zion's story, Margaret story. There's many more. There's many more Nancy story, Dr. Marcia story. It's it's a good thing. There's lessons to be learned from there. That's why we call it lessons learned from COVID, I guess. Okay, who's joined us now? Omar, welcome. Omar does live stream forever. If you haven't been on his game show Zoom party, then connect with him, and he might invite you to come as a contestant. He's not going to invite me again because I've been right. I went there and embarrassed myself, like I knew I would. He did. He asked us funny questions. I say funny questions. He doesn't think they were funny. I'm not. Why would I be good at game shows? I don't watch game shows. I don't play game shows. I don't claim to have random knowledge, Omar. But I think Paulette did quite well. So she got through to the next round. I don't know what's happened since. It's an afternoon of embarrassing any day. Which is fine. I enjoyed myself for a good couple of hours with them, so that was cool. Who am I welcoming from Nigeria? Mariam, welcome. Our cybersecurity expert. Yeah, whenever you call me sir, I feel so old. Omar, come on stage. Come in the studio. And look, if anyone can come in the studio, you cheer me up. That's what's going to give me the greatest joy. So I don't have to see your face. You can come without your camera on. I keep saying that, but I'm not going to say it again. But you can come to the studio without your camera on. Okay. You see, the one question that people ask me is, what size should my book be? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. I don't tell you. And you suddenly see this look on their face, like they've never thought of book dimensions and book sizes before. Welcome, Lisa. Glad you're here. Hopefully you're feeling better. So Lisa's going to be experiencing this thing on Tuesday when we do our next room. I may well host. Okay, in US it's still early. Yeah, I suppose so. Sorry, Omar. Omar's still in bed. You can do this from your bed, like you used to do audio rooms from your bed. Just have yourself a virtual background. Maybe that's a lesson that I should be trying to pass on to everyone today. Sort out your StreamYard. Go to StreamYard, sign up to StreamYard, and then sort out your background. So when you log in and join an event like this, you're good to go. Set up your name, and also you might want to set up destinations. Destinations is where you can stream to. Right now, I'm streaming to Facebook, to LinkedIn, and to my YouTube channel. If you come on stage and you come into Share Genius, you can share. You can stream to your channels. If you want to just stream your parts, then why not? If you want to stream the whole show, then good on you, right? Go and do the StreamYard thing first, and then everything else becomes much easier. Again, as I can see, many people will be thinking, I haven't got the right background. I don't know what to do. I hear this every day, so it's all right. Nat, welcome. I don't know Nat's brave enough to know. It's not brave enough to come on stage. Not yet. She's still camera shy, but she's here. Nat, see, maybe one thing that I think we're going to need, my friend, in case you're wondering, is someone who's going to manage the comments. See, for what I do as a host, of course, I can signpost or lead the conversation. I can manage the comments in terms of putting the comments on screen and taking them off. Lisa, right, the comments thing, your message yesterday. When someone makes a comment, Lisa, I will show it on screen. We won't always read the comments. I don't think we can read all of them. But you have to, of course, the more lively your comment stream is, the harder it is for me to read most comments. But where I see a comment, I would likely put it on screen so everyone can see it too. Of course, I say everyone, those who are on stage will be able to see the comments as well. So, and then that way we can respond. That's the reason we do that bit. Yeah, another thing that Natalie yesterday, you told me I am, what's the word? I'm fidgety. Yeah, I'm fidgety. I'm not fidgety, Nat. I'm standing up for hours and hours, right? And my health guru say I must move when I'm standing up. I must move my legs, move my feet. Otherwise, I'm going to get DVT, right? That's why I keep moving. You see, we're always moving. Well, the other part of my movement is that I'm always doing invites. So I'm always sending DMs. So my hand is always clicking. Anyway, enough of all that. Let's talk about book sizes. So, so one of the biggest questions I get asked is, what size should my book be? And like I said, I have no straight answer for anyone. It depends on you, the author. It might help for authors to have an idea, an idea of the options that you have available. And believe you me, you got options. On Amazon, I'm thinking, what this is, there's a grid or 5. There's probably at least 20 book options on Amazon. That's Amazon, right? Other platforms have some more, some have less, some have much fewer. See, the place where you have all the options of what size you want your book to be is at your local printers. Go and talk to them. They'll do a book in any size you wish. Of course they will. That's why printers still have a place in the business these days. For authors especially. Of course, like I said, on the book platforms like Amazon, you're kind of fixed by the options that they give us, and that's that. Whereas if you want more options, then go and talk to someone's going to do whatever you want them to do, and ask them nicely, and of course, pay them as handsomely as well. So all I can do today is give you some ideas of the options that could help, that can help you choose. I will come to your point, Natalie, about your book, because I think you gave me the biggest shock this week, maybe this whole month, right? Many things have happened, but Natalie, I had a conversation with Natalie, I was like, wow, how many? We'll come to that in good time, my friends. Hopefully she still talk to me afterwards as well. Okay, so where did we start? For those who were not here at the beginning, I guess the conversation today centers around two things. It maybe centers around one thing, really. The real thing that you want as an author or publisher is for your book to fit nicely into people's hands. Yeah, if your book is too big, it becomes uncomfortable. If your book is too small, it becomes uncomfortable. So it really is a fine balance between having the trim size and having the number of pages that you want. Again, think of the books that you've seen. I suppose in the scheme of things, you can go as big as you want. No, you can't really. You can go as small as you want. That doesn't make sense. But some people might have benefited from going for bigger size, bigger trim to have fewer pages. But then again, the advice we have is misleading, and it's hard to make sense of what's out there. So that's why I guess I want to have this conversation. What do you do? How do you decide what's working for you? That's what I really want to know. Of course, I'll share what the word tells us we should do, and then I'll tell you, ignore all that. Do what you want. Do what's right for you and your book. Don't do what other people want you to do. Do what's right for you. Do what your customers want. Do what your readers really want. And what does that mean? It means go and talk to some readers. Someone asked me last night, "Will you read my book?" I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe. I don't really want to, because if I'm going to publish it, then I'm in the book, right? I'm part of the team doing the book, so we don't see what other people see. So get people outside who, you're aiming at your book at, to have a look at them and ask them what book size do they want. You see, of course, there's guides everywhere, so you're never going to run out of advice what book size to get. So I'm going to share the common ones and the ones that I know. The ones I use for my clients, the ones I use for my books with you today. And then let me see what you make of it. Let me see how that can help you. If it can, great. If it can't, oh, wow. We had fun for an hour and a bit, right? Okay, right. leave me on stage. This is what I would do. I would to entertain myself until someone comes to entertain me on stage. Dr. Dentist Fortune, I'm glad you're here, of course. Natalie, that book, it is an is a biographical institutional training manual. Yes, Natalie. We still don't want a 1,000-page book, Natalie. Jay, you're on the StreamYard link. I'll send it to you personally. How's that? Right, Right, Jay, look. The next message is going to be the StreamYard link. Full stop. Right, Jay? Here's the next message. I've just pressed send. So post, send, whatever, right? You can see it. Can you see it now, Jay? It's just above Tulu's message. Welcome, Joni. Good to see you. So, Dentist, I'm glad you're here. Worknesh, I see you too. See, Dentist is here, but she's only giving us a round of applause. So I'm not going to show the comments. Whereas Worknesh says, hello, everyone. Please, everyone, reply to Worknesh and say hello. I see you, Joni. So Joni's making some comments. Yeah, Joni. Joni, come on stage. I know you're not shy. Do come on stage, Dr. Roxana. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. So Dr. Roxana's book is launching on Monday. We're sending an email marketing side as we speak. So do join us. So her book, I could show you her book, actually. Yeah, let me show you her book that way. I said I can do things I can't do normally. Where's Dr. Roxana's book? See, what people don't realize is that my days are spent with parcels from Amazon on books. That's one parcel, have no idea whose book that is. Another parcel, no idea whose book that is. And then another one, and another one. I got, honestly, there's more. There's another one there. Okay. Which one do I think is Dr. Roxana's? Let's take a gamble. I think that big hefty one I just dropped is Jay's book. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to do a video about Dr. Roxana's book anyway. Oh, no. Okay. It's not, oh, no. That is Laverne's book, which is late to the game, but winning. How do I get rid of can I lose my background? Because this whole background thing interferes with everything that we do, right? Yeah, no, you can't see clearly enough. How do I change the background? Settings, visual background. Okay. If I go for none, what do you see? You see my room. It's fine. I don't care if you see my room. But that's Laverne's book. But the book that we're launching on the 9th, I think it's this one. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, then I will apologize. No, it's the right book. Yay! But let's go to Roxana's book. See, amazing book. I can't wait. You get to buy that Family Wealth Secrets. You get to buy that at launch price, as we do, right? You can't smooth that. So I love the book for what it is, Dr. Roxana. Welcome. Connect with her. Connect with me if you want the link. Of course, you're going to get the link to our launch event on Monday. The Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock my time, 11 a.m. US time. Anyway, so Dr. Roxana's book, it's a small book by comparison to many other books. But that does not make it any less value. I truly believe that. Part of my answer today is how big a book should be. It's not down to me. Talk to your readers and find out what they want to read, and make some choices. Because the choices you make will affect the number of pages you have. It's not rocket science, right? If you have a smaller trim book like this, then your pages are going to be more, right? You understand that? Whereas if you have a book that's this size, like my book, 6x9, you're going to have fewer pages because the words are over, more pages, right? I'm sure you get the idea. I hope you do. If you don't, then you can always ask me questions. But you see the difference? This one is tiny. This one's 4 by maybe 4 by no, it's about 4.5 by maybe 3.5. This pocketbook, the orange thing, isn't it? The orange book. It's a tiny book, but it's packed, full of. There's loads of pages. If you look at the thickness, it's quite thick, right? Whereas my one's bigger, 6 by 9, and there are fewer pages. Probably the same number of words, maybe, but I don't know. So Dr. Roxana's book is more the same size as mine, which is one of the, I guess, well, it's a working model. It's a working model in that it's standard for what we do. Tulu Ekwe, where's the StreamYard link gone? Tulu, here's the StreamYard link. How can I reply to you personally? I can't. Okay, there's the StreamYard link, Tulu. StreamYard link is there. Yay. Have you got it now? Well, I'll hear a beep when someone comes in the studio, so I'm all right. Right. I think my point is that the whole thing about number of pages has to be about what feels right for your readers. You decide what you think is going to work for them. And but the hardest thing for me is when someone changes their book size. After if I publish a book and someone says I want it small, I want it bigger, I want it different, it means we have to do the whole layout thing all over again. We have to now do the layout again to put the book on the right size that I actually do want, and then if you reply on LinkedIn and then they have close to what they want, everything will change. The font has to change, the pictures have to move, and everything is it's a disaster. So choose your book size before. Oh, Carrie, of course you can reply on LinkedIn, but it will show up here, right? So that's cool. Let me go and reply on LinkedIn if that's what you're saying to Tulu, because that will stop you asking me funny questions, right? Okay. So at Tulu, at J, at Tulu, yeah. There you go. Okay. Right. Okay. Tulu, there you go. There's a link. And J. So Pasquale, where are you? Your name is all the way down there. No. Jay, where are you? Where can I find you? Okay, you are there. I'll push you there. Paste. There you go. If anyone else on LinkedIn wants to link personally, then just let me know. So put a comment and I'll send you the link. Mr. Carrie only just got here, but I appreciate your kind words. Okay, here goes. Now, let me do my bit very quickly. You see, there are common book trim sizes. I say again, we'll talk about trim sizes because when someone prints your book, whether it's Amazon, whether it's your printer, the first thing they'll do is cut around. They'll cut the book to size. They'll trim the book to size, right? That's what I talk about trim sizes. Trim sizes means side, top, and the size of the book. In other words, I tend to call it dimensions. So because it comes in centimeters, inches, whatever, millimeters, and so on and so forth. J, your device not connected. Connect your device. So turn your camera on. No, hold on. Permit your camera and microphone, Jay, to start off with. So they can't see you, Jay. Only I know you're there. I can see you, Jay. Right, now you turn your camera off on StreamYard. No, you want to be on camera? Okay, I'll bring you on stage, Jay. There you go. They can see Jay. Where is it? Where's it now? Where's he gone? Okay. I don't know why there's a slow response here. So Jay's there. It was cameras off. Excellent. How you doing, Jay? Talk to me. Jay, speak, Jay. Oh, no, okay, it's got a different one. There you are. Who's the other Jay?
I don't know. I guess.
I've removed him anyway. No, welcome. I'm glad you made my day, Jay. You made my day. Joni, you want to come? Oh, Tolu's here as well. Sitting the night. See, this is it. This is what we have to do on live. Not just me waffling at you, right? Welcome. Now, thank you so much.
Hello.
How you doing, Tolu? How's it going?
I'm well. Thank you so much. Okay, now that I'm in, I'll set up for video.
Mm-hmm.
I'll set up.
I agree. Video. No, I agree. No, I think it's just experiencing being up here. Yeah. I'm hoping you can see what I can see, right? If you look around, you can see how the whole thing works. In terms of the comments, the whole comment stream on the right hand side, there's settings at the bottom of your screen that we can take advantage of.
Okay.
So the turn camera off, on, and all that. We can invite more people. What else can we do? So top right of my screen, I'm sure of your screen too, is where you can see where you start and stop the stream. Where it says end stream. Can you see that on my screen or not? Probably not.
No, I don't think so. No, I see stage, comments, chat.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So I can imagine what you see. I think you need to connect your social media platforms to your StreamYard. Right. So I say when next time you log in, go to the home destinations. If you click on that duck thing, the logo, normally takes you to home, and then you can start doing destinations and choosing where you can stream to. Okay. That's the beauty of the platform. Zara, welcome. What? No, Joni, I'm not going to say the address out loud. That's the most pointless thing I've ever heard, Joni. Sorry, Jane. I'm going to send it to her on LinkedIn. Welcome, Victoria. Zara, sorry about that. Please, how are you doing, Zara?
Annie was amazing last night, and I'm doing great. I went to the barber. I thought I should have my beard.
I like that.
You're like an inspiration. I thought everybody's like having it.
Don't blame me for that. And I don't know. So I'm easy about how I look. I look how I look, and I'm not saying anyone is bothered by it. I'm saying I'm going to turn up the way I am. But I am being nice at the moment. I'm putting shirts on. Like I keep saying, I've never worn so many shirts in a day.
Like a Java plum, a black plum.
Left to I'll turn up in my pajamas. Before I used to do audio in my pajamas. And I'm a t-shirt kind of guy. I'm not a shirt kind of, I wear shirt with suits. And when the wife says I'm not ironing any more shirts, I'm like, okay, no problem. And then this comes along, I'm like, I need more shirts. More shirts. But it's what it is. It's what it is. Okay, so how is your book plans, Jay? Now let's start with you. Jay, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so in case I guess I've learned how to stop. Oh, and hold on, I suddenly got myself all lost. Right. Without your camera, they can't see your names. I need to find the comments. Oh no. Joni's comments is there. It's stuck there forever because I can't get it. I don't know where it is. I can't see it to remove it. I'm joking. Of course, I'll find it. All right. And they said the address out loud. Okay, that was a recent one, right? So let me see. Right. Okay. Am I looking in the right place? No, I'm looking on LinkedIn, not on StreamYard. That's why I can't find it. There you go. So now we can see everyone. Everyone's names up. Joni, leave me alone, honestly. Come on stage. You look spiffy today, Jay Pasqua. I mean, sorry, I just can't not show that. I wonder what people thought you looked like. And I wonder what the thoughts, the environment you're in before. I do wonder, but sorry about that. I'm having too much of a laugh. Jay, so let's talk about your book.
Sure. So, I had a dirty joke in mind, and I think I'll just keep it.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That'll be online forever, and that'll be somewhere forever.
Forever on LinkedIn. No, let's not do that. It's not the LinkedIn audio events of old. So
Look,
you
there's
know,
a book. Look, there's a book.
yes. So
Release
let's
it.
start there. So check it out. So this was
Hmm.
the first iteration, right?
Yeah,
Here's the second.
yeah.
You see the you see the you see the difference.
You know, it's funny. You know, have you got fewer? So you got fewer pages, and you know, what have you done differently, Jay?
Formatting. It's an
Yes,
important process.
yes, yes. Well, no, I
Um,
think go.
yeah, really, and it really is important. You know, my accountability partner in this process was Paulette, and we
Why
came
are you
to,
doing that?
hey,
Where are you? How can we hear you when you're not on stage? Are you
Me?
on stage?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Apparently, you are on stage. I don't know how. Okay, well, that was me somehow. Okay, where's Journey's there? Okay, fine.
I figured it out. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Jay. Not thanks, any.
Sorry, I put when I put the comments, I put CJ's comments on, and it took all your names away, so I couldn't see that you're on stage, Journey. I could see
Yeah,
you
you're gonna
in
need
the
to like
studio.
mute everyone.
Right, let Jay talk. Then we'll come to you, Journey. Calm down. Nah, don't everyone give me grace. Don't be a hater. Go on, Jay. Tell us. So from 360 to 200 pages, how?
well, basically going in and editing profusely and making sure the format and font size were exactly the way they should be, and it was consistent. When you have um, when you're on there and you're uploading your information onto a format or a platform, right? It's going to auto basically upload it into the format that it sees fit. And sometimes it's not always the greatest. Right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is the important part of having an accountability partner, an editor, and a publisher all working together. What's going to happen is you're going to have different eyes on the situation, and they're going to figure out whether or not all of that uploading actually was in the proper format that it should be in or font size. And really, it's meticulous. It's just having the ability to go in there and look at the fine details is important. You may not think, oh man, I've got it already edited. It's fine. It's great. If you're putting it up onto a digital platform, you must look at the details. Otherwise, you're going to have something like this. Now, because it's this thick, right? I wanted to make sure things were proper because the end goal was actually this. And I'll put it side by side and you're going to see the difference, right? Look at the difference, right? See the difference? There it is. Okay. So the reason I wanted it to be this thin, not thick, is because I want you to be able to carry it around with you whenever you need it. That was a really good suggestion by my accountability partner, which is Paulette. Paulette was like, you've got to consider the size of this thing because you have to envision it being in somebody's back pocket. You have to see it in somebody's, uh, I guess, I don't know if people still carry them around, attache cases, briefcases, um, right? Or laptop cases, I guess, or bags these days. Um, but somewhere where people are pulling it out and they have real ease of access to it, and it's not going to be cumbersome to bring it around. So you know, um, dirty jokes aside, size does matter, right? We really have to understand that when you're formulating your book, you have to understand that size is really important because you want to be able to see how that fits with your audience and with what it is that you're trying to convey. Um, I can tell you that I've never seen a children's book this this tiny. Children's books are a lot larger because the picture sizes are larger. You want the children to be engaged and you want to see them doing that. I mean, but that just depends. If it's a children's book that's also going to be for parents, such as the case with Paulette's books with Jack and Walter, the pictures are going to be smaller and the content is going to be a lot bigger. The text is going to be much greater, right? You're going to have a lot more text. So all of those things have to come into play when you're formulating your book. And she's been, yes, Dr. Constance, she's an amazing person to everyone. Absolutely. Check it out. Go ahead. And Annie, are you on mute? I think you're on mute.
I don't want to talk over you. So there's pictures and there's text. Oh, let me get rid of my background again. This background thing is very annoying when you're trying to show anything, right? Let me get rid of that. Okay. So in case you can see, oh, is it too bright? Oh, how do I get to the pictures? So can you see there's pictures and text? You get the idea, right? So I think that's a new chapter starting, so the picture's bigger. There's illustration on all the way through, like you're saying, Jay, but there's smaller pictures and the spacing is a lot more in the children's book. The text is bigger, but the spacing is there as well. Compare that to your book, Jay. That spacing is not there in your book, right? It was on some of your in the first book. There was some spacing issues, if you ask me, because there was too much space, right? Now it's a lot tighter to the top, tighter to the bottom, and side to side, all the way, right? That's as CJ is saying that her anthology went from 400 pages to 200 as well. It's not easy to do, but if you have to be willing to look at your book and review it. So like I say, if you do it in hindsight, it's work, as Jay found out, right? Jay, it was work, wasn't it? I remember you calling me and going, Amy, I hate Amazon. I'm like, calm down, Jay, calm down. Calm down.
Yeah. It made my appreciation for publishers a lot greater. Like, and editors, especially editors. It was just mind blowing the type of meticulous work that you had to do to be able to do this. Because what ended up happening, this was my frustration. You would correct an issue on one side and it would impact every other page following you. You have to go, oh my gosh, let me go look and see if it was fixed on those. And so my mind was just wrought with frustration.
You see, doing what I do, what CJ does, a lot of our work is formatting. It's layout. Is what I call it. Making sure it looks the way you want it to look on paper. And I've learned to just make sure my clients, before I touch their book, the editor has done their thing. There's no mistakes. I don't want, like you said, I don't want to touch on one page and then the whole book changes. That just screws everything. It takes time and money, but no one's going to pay me anymore. So I'm not. If you don't have your book ready, I don't want to touch it. Which brings me to one of the things that I want to say, Jay. Natalie, Natalie has a publisher who publishes a 1,000-page book. So she called me the other day. She goes, "No, my autobiography is there. I want it published." I'm like, I'm not doing it. I don't want it. Why? I said it was 1,000 pages. That will take me a lifetime to even look at and do, right? I'm saying I'm not going to do it. So someone will do it for her, but no, there's some books are too big. Your book was closed, Jay. I say when Amazon slapped a $45 price on it, you and I were shocked. So now it's more reasonable at 200 pages, so that's a lot more reasonable. So well done you anyway. Well done you. That's what I would say. I guess there's a whole conversation around font sizes and fonts themselves that they're probably going to have one day. Because I remember that fonts have screwed me up for on some books, because if Amazon says they can't read the font you've chosen, then either you have to go bigger, more pages, bigger book, and so on and so forth. Let me stop talking. Tolu, welcome. What do you want to say to us, Tolu?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I really found the topic very exciting. Nice to see you, Jay. Nice to see you, Zara. And someone else is on stage and I can't tell who. Is that Dr. Constance, maybe?
Joanne.
Well, Joanne,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, Joni, Joe.
Oh, Joni.
Joni.
Okay, yeah, I see you now. Okay.
Hi. They don't have like all the names, but there we go. Okay.
I see it
No,
now.
we'll do it now. So I've taken off the comments.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. Nice to see you, everyone, and everyone else who's listening, who I can't see. This is so weird. It's going to take so much getting used to. But
I still try and welcome all of them. Natalie's here. So Dr. Lisa is here. Dr. CJ is here. Alexis. Many more people are here. I can't mention all of them at all.
We have 78 comments and 3 reposts here.
Everybody else can see that. How come I can't see that?
Because you're looking at us rather than looking at them. That's that's funny parts. Right. So
okay.
There is so this is going out on LinkedIn. So if you were to open your LinkedIn tab.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, forget that. Just focus on us. It's all right. Okay. Share with us.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was going to say that about the book size. I think any other factors apart from the technical factors and the specialist factors, there are also the reader factors. You find that people's attention span these days is crazy. People don't have the kind of, well, not people, maybe that's too general, right? Some people do, but a lot more people would rather just breeze through something quickly than have to spend lots of hours reading something, So even when you're doing videos, it's like the shorter the better these days. So, so just to say that with size, it was something that we noticed that made us we could have, with Raging Waters, we could have made it a bigger book. We could have gone into a lot more detail. We could have, created a lot more suspense and all that. But we realized that even getting people to read something that small is still some doing. And maybe again, the topic, what you're dealing with also matters. Like if someone is reading a book that's around maybe some research or something that's, intellectual, maybe they'd want to read a lot and get into the details of how it works and all of that. But sometimes when it comes to something more social, then smaller may be better. So I don't know. I think I'm eager to hear what other people have to say in this regard, in terms of the reader's side, not just the technical side.
Yeah, I think everything you say, I definitely agree with. I think Dr. CJ made a comment about wait till you see where you start doing educational books. Mm-hmm. Education books are much bigger. Textbooks, they're just much bigger, right? I used to love reading them because they're textbooks. That's how I was going to pass my exams, right? Nice. Some of those have thousands. It feels like thousands. It's not thousands. They're just huge books. I can show you some if you really want to see them. Oh, I'll show you that. Look at my shelf. God help us. Yeah. I think kids' books. There's a difference. Jay started on kids' books earlier. Going by Paulette's book, it's 5 by 8, and it's less than 100 pages. It's 80 pages. The first one I did was 120 pages. I'm like, no, what's happened? It's too long. So the dimensions were off, and the fonts were off, and everything was wrong. So that's why I had to go back and do the layout in a certain way, the way we're happy with now, which gives us about 80 pages. But we're aiming for 10 to 14-year-olds. Okay, if you go for younger kids, let's be sure. The younger kids, they're picture books, right?
Right.
And they tend to be wider books. So, so high but wider that way. So when I think on 8, like Toulouse holding up an 8 by, that's a wide book considering compared to,
Right.
so one of Paulette's books, which is 5 by 8, which is more like it's like a proper book for adults, right? So you can see that. So I think the other books that tend to be wider, Toulouse, is cooking books.
Do people still use those?
Yes, Toulouse. Yes, Jay, that's a kid indeed. People still do cooking books.
Okay.
And they tend to be longer, higher up, and also wider. I guess when I was thinking of what I was going to say today, I thought that must be a chance to show off the pictures of the food, right, of the meals. They must want the pictures to look like your plate size. That way it looks the way it should do. I'm surmising from what I've seen people do. I think someone's coming to me do some cooking books. I'm like, okay, that's why you wanted that size. It must be. So, other than that, Toulouse, there is a science. There's a weirdism around page numbers and book sizes. So in terms of people will tell us that the genre will influence how many pages you're going to have. So romance is probably the most popular genre there is. And they tend to be 360 pages, Toulouse. 360 pages. Your book's not romance, Toulouse. Your book is about cheating and infidelity. That's not romance. The less we read about that issue, the better, Toulouse. Don't want to read anymore. Sorry.
Okay.
I said that you can say it in real time as well.
I know you couldn't resist. It's okay.
Sorry, Tony. Ignore me. There is a thing about I said so page size. They will say to us, write more for those who want to spend time with your book. But like you said, I think say romance, 360. Mystery, thriller, suspense, 364 pages, adventure and action books, 384, all the way to fantasy, which could be 450 pages. No thanks. I'm not going to read a book that big. I haven't got all day. I haven't got a year. A lot of people like the small books these days. They want a book they can read on a train ride, or maybe a couple of train rides. Right. Again, my next book I'm working on, not the price one, another one I'm working on. My thinking was I'm going to write a big book about the topic, introduction, how to do all the bits, and that'll be great. Then I realized, no, don't do that. Let's write shorter books. Let's write what I call single issue books. Single issue. Pick on one thing and elaborate on that thing. Most authors I work with, they tend to have 50, 60, 70, 80 pages because they focus on one issue. That means that you can have, rather than having one 400-page book, you can have 400-page books. So part of that idea is keeping the chapters to the guide of around 2,000 words to 5,000 words each. Again, I say that because you don't want to write one chapter 2,000 words, another chapter 10,000 words. You want to have some sort of consistency, some sort of similarity between the chapters, because that too will affect book size. There's many things that we need to think of. Last I'll say before I go to Joni is, I'll go to Sarah and then I'll go to Joni, whoever wants to speak first. I leave that. Toulouse, what people really want is a book that gives them value for money. What does that mean? I hear you say, Tulu. You see, as a first-time author, no one wants you to write a 1,000-page book because it's too much time, too much effort to read a book. Because and what if you're not very good? You know, so your first book cannot be a huge, like a Bible. It just can't be. Make it smaller. Give people a taste of what you can do, and as time goes on, you can increase your page numbers. It's how most people do it. It's how, you know, J.K. Rowling, for example. You know, think of the Harry Potter books. The first one wasn't the biggest one. It was big, you know, granted, but it wasn't the biggest book that's ever written. You know, so those came later on. You know, it's about building the trust with your readers that you can write, and they'll love your stories. If you prove that, then they want more. You know, that's my great advice to you today. That's to everyone, right? Don't be writing those big books. Keep it down. When you got the trust, you go on, please feel free.
Okay, sorry, before you move on from this point, I think I should mention, so I had this experience, my very first book, right? Of course, it was a children's book. I was excited about putting together all my stories. So that was my focus, put together the stories. And I had 10 stories, and it was a children's book. And I put them all together in this one book. And let's just say, that was my first lesson. So for people who are thinking of writing, right, just start. Do what you know. Do what you can with what you know. You make your mistakes, and then you'll figure things out. So what I realized was most children's books don't come as a compilation of many stories. It really doesn't make that much business sense. For one, when you can get 10 books, why put all 10 in one? Except if there's some kind of reason why you think one person will want to read all 10. The second thing I realized was that those 10 stories were not really relevant to the same age group. So who exactly are you writing for? And that was the other lesson I learned. So I found that it was difficult to find people to buy that book because which story are you applying to which person, you know? And that was when I realized that obviously I wasn't an author. I didn't know much about writing until I wrote. So I learned a lot from that experience. Just thought to share that as well.
Yeah, but it's an important point. You know what I was just saying. People, you know, we're not going to write our best books first time round, right? And we're going to make some choices that we will learn from. You know, I mean, how is the book performing, Tolu? That's a question. That the 10 stories book for kids.
Not terribly, actually. So
That's all right,
yeah.
then.
I guess so. It's just you know when you find out after the fact, it's like, oh, cringe. I wish I hadn't. But yeah, it was a good book.
I wonder, Joni, you know, you're writing kids' books. Would you go for?
Why
10
is he
stories?
going on that? This is so weird. I don't know how to do that. Okay. I don't
What's
want it's like a background of a kitchen I painted. Okay, hold on. Is it gray? Right over here. Got her.
There you are.
Yay, we see you.
Holla. All right.
Joni's not camera shy. I know that for sure.
I am not camera shy. Because like what? This is me. I could care less. I have no makeup on, so natural beauty. Anyway, yes. So I did do like the first venture like into writing was certainly poetry. And I had a couple poems published, and I knew that I could do that because my dad, who was an architect, he also wrote op-eds for the Philadelphia Inquirer. And his Christmas letters are things people fucking keep. It's like, so he's such an articulate, formulaic writer. And so I definitely hope to take after him. So I started with some poetry, and then I was like, you know what? My life's been pretty cray. I'm going to write my memoir. just in case, you know, so my kids have at least some advice from me. And so my memoir is really, I feel like, a bit convoluted because it's some poetry, some stories of my childhood, some recipes, some tips on how to take care of plants. It's really from me to my children and me to the world, saying that all is similar between us. Talked about some of our trips that we went on, Italia being my favorite place. But, you know, we've been all over the world. And the children's story, though, is it's kind of like my heart. So, again, my dad, he worked so much growing up. So my mom did a lot of the mothering. So power to her, just like not discluding my mom. She just is, she like ran part of the hospital. She's such a great medical mind. And that is nothing I want to discount. But my sisters followed in my mom's footsteps, and I followed in my dad's footsteps. And he told us these stories about dinosaurs growing up. And I just thought they were just mesmerizing. And so I started doing a collection of my own 3 sister dinosaurs, the Triceratops. And so I did about 20 different stories that are geared towards 8-year-old, I say for girls and boys, because I wanted to put girls first, because girls can like dinosaurs too. And so I did that. But I really liked, I guess, growing up and with my kids having an anthology. So, for instance, my absolute favorite kids' book stories are Frog and Toad. They are so charming. And I remember back when we were actually allowed in the schools, I would go and read Frog and Toad to my now high schoolers, kindergarten class, and do the voices like, "Oh, Toad, I don't want to get out of bed. But, or no, oh, Frog." And then we'd be like, "But Toad, it's springtime. We have to go out there, and there's flowers and sun." And you, "Oh, Frog, I'm going to go back to sleep." And I loved it. So each chapter, even though it was its own story, was something that we continued reading. So I have not published mine, but this is just something I made for myself to take notes. But you can see, like, so this is kind of the different stories. The words need to be bigger, obviously. The pictures are all AI. Okay, first of all, AI is amazing, because I could never do these illustrations. And I have to show you one of them, because this is the most amazing thing. Okay, so the 3 Triceratops are after me and my 3 sisters. So I'm the oldest, Rachel is the middle, Leslie is the youngest. And so it is essentially like all of us. So, you know, it's like, let's see, I'm trying to find all of these. But so I'm trying to find the good one that I wanted to show you, but I don't see it, but I'll show you another one. Anyway, so I'm Nebi after Nebuchadnezzar. And then Rachel is Tut after Tutankhamun. And Leslie is Robbie after Hammurabi. And in the beginning of the book, I'm like, yo, they're named after Egyptian kings, but we are queens. And that comes much later in the history of the world. So, you know, just ask your parents about that. Anyways, back to my original point, AI is amazing for illustrations. So all I had to do is type in, show a Triceratops cleaning up her messy room, because my middle sister was very messy. And they came up with this. Can you believe it? I mean, this is what they came up with. I mean, it is amazing. So I did all the words and whatnot. And then in the back of my book, there is a huge section. It's like the encyclopedia. So it talks all about like the Jurassic period. It talks about all different formation, consolidation of Pangea, the single landmass. And then each dinosaur that's in the different stories has its own, like Ichthyosaurus was a giant marine reptile that lived in the late Jurassic period. Here's some key features, physical characteristics, habitat, and lifestyle. So for this, I like the big book because they can go to each story and learn more about the dinosaurs to present to their parents, to their class, do a book report on, and cite this information, because I talked to the Natural History Museum in Philadelphia to just make sure all of the information was correct. But yeah, I think, and also some of these really colorful, like AI type pictures are colorful for young kids. And it's really a book for parents and kids to read together, because there's not, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. This has not been picked up anywhere, but I just did this as like something I could like make notes and quite that.
Okay, now suddenly, if you want to publish a traditional publisher, yes,
I do, yes.
you might have to publish a book first, and then they'll see your talent.
Yeah.
You might
But
have to publish
so
a book.
a lot of people are like, do not do two different mediums. Like, you have a memoir that is pretty intense because it talks about divorce and rape and financial insecurity and a lot of good things too. But that's really different than my children's books about dinosaurs. They're very happy. And I do talk about the great ball falling out of the sky. So people can leave that up to their imaginations, but it didn't end sad. So anyways, I encourage anyone to just do it. Just
And
go.
so, how many pages is your book going to be in the end? You know, of course, when you increase your fonts, it's going to change, right?
The kids' book right now, I would go about 160. It just depends on the size of the font.
160. Okay, it's more educational than.
It's a lot educational, and right. I mean, the stories are a page and a half in the font that I have right now. They're not long. It's definitely something they could do at school in their reading, free reading time.
Yeah, I suppose. You have to think of how your book's going to be used, right?
Yeah.
Jay, go on. Jay's flashing his book. Which one's that one, Jay?
So this is a book. It's an anthology, but it's a coffee table book, right? So people in the 1900s used to have coffee tables.
You and I were there, Jay.
And so they used to put books on those coffee tables for their visitors to take a look at. So this was one of them. It's an anthology, but it's a picture book with a little bit of story. And so if you notice the size, here's the rules of engagement and storytelling. This is 5 by 8, is it? Right, 5 by 8. And so you obviously see that there's a difference. And so my contribution was some illustrations I did. And let's go to the page. So if you see, right, that's mixed medium. And so in order for you to be able to see the picture, you have to have a really good size. And so this was the size. I wish I knew the dimensions exactly. All I know is in the formatting of this thing, it said coffee table book. So here's some of the illustrations that I did. So
clear pictures. Like if I look at that again, probably something like 8 by 11, 8 by 10. So it's wider, and it seems quite high. Right. So so your book is 6 by 9,
5 by 8.
5 by 8. Okay, so that's 5 by double that, 5 by 10. It looks like, right? So 5 high and 10 across, which is it's a kid's book normally looks in that sort of format. A good question from Lisa. So, is there a minimum amount of pages for ebooks? Oh, is there? No, there isn't.
Yes, there is for if you're self-publishing
No,
on
there's no,
Amazon, isn't there?
no, no, for
Oh,
for print
Vicky's
for
giving
print
me
for,
some data.
for print books, yes.
Oh, for print.
Yeah, I think that the ebook idea, it comes. I guess some people take it all very differently, right? I'm thinking the way I think, which is if you're going to publish an ebook, a small book, you might as well get it into print as well. Why not? They can buy an electronic version, they can buy a print book, and you can probably sell the print book for more than the ebook version. So my thing is make the ebook a real book. But a lot of people treat ebooks as if it's a giveaway, it's a free thing, it's worthless, so it can be junk. 2 pages, 3 pages. That's not an ebook. I'm saying a book that's an ebook should be the same quality as a print book. I wonder what Tolu, what do you think? Zara, now you haven't spoken for a while. What do you think? Tolu, are all your books ebooks and print books, or are they just print? No, is there one format, or do you use both formats?
I use both formats. But I recently did a free ebook, and I think it was about 10 or 11 pages. So I wasn't thinking of it as a real book in that sense.
Right. Okay. So I hope that answered your question, Lisa. I say create a proper book. I know someone created 11-page ebook, and I'm like, what's the point of that? And they're trying to sell it as well, which is really annoying. There's no quality standard. There has to be a quality standard somewhere. And I think you have to. If you're not willing to print the book, don't publish it. Let me change that. I think we all deserve to have our books in the bookstores, right? In which case we have to aim for the 24-page Amazon criteria, 24 eternal pages. We can bump pages up. Of course we can. I've done a book with repeat pages for a client because that's what they asked for. So I'm saying there's ways that you can bump the pages up. Now, by the time you add an introduction, time you add the copyright page, acknowledgements, now you have 5 pages already, right? Your short story becomes still the same short story, but more pages. Aim to print your books properly. Another question Jackie's asked is, what's the average word count for microbooks? What's a microbook? I know what microbooks are now, because I had to look, right? How many words are you using when quoting page counts? I suppose it was 300 words, more or less. Of course, it depends on the font you use. But I think that I'm more like work on chapter word counts than anything else. Right, a microbook is what 250 to 300 words. Is that really a book? Some call it a novella. Some call it many different things, right? That's a bit small. Jackie, 250 words a page now. I said no, at 300, maybe a bit more. It can be 250, depending on what font you use, clearly, right? Anyway, I love to see a microbook. I want to see what they really are. I have no idea what they are really. Oh, there's a simple way for me to find out because I hate not knowing things, right? So ask Google, what's a microbook? Microfiction writing stories. Okay, no one knows what a microbook is. Okay. So whilst we're talking about what book size that we can aim for, I guess I will say most books are either the 5 by 8s or the 6 by 9s. 5 5x8 or 6x9. Those are the two general dimensions we tend to work with. I don't know. I suppose people are used to those sizes for I don't know, for non-fiction, general non-fiction stories. Then that's kind of where we are. So I think you're asking books per words per page, Jackie. Welcome, Peter. I see you. Now, look, if you want to write a big book, you're going to fill thousands of words. I say, like I said earlier, a romance book is about 90,000 words, Jackie. That's at 360 pages. All the way to fantasy books, which are more like 110,000 words, which are 436 pages exactly. And on average, people write 2,000 to 5,000 words, 2,000 words to 5,000 words in each chapter. And so a book that's 200 pages, normally 150,000 words. I'm saying that it's a lot of words. I guess which makes me think, what, my friends, forget how big the book is. I remember an author that I'm working with. Now, she wrote a lovely book. I say, it's a memoir. That's a book, right? Yeah, okay. So I did my thing and I laid it out, and then I ordered a proof copy to be delivered to her. And when she got the proof copy, she was devastated. She was heartbroken. You can almost see that she was distraught at the size of the book that wasn't there. I feel for her, but what can I say? I'm saying, right, what are you gonna do? If that's your story, you can't suddenly start making bits up, can you? Jay, I can see you. I said you can't suddenly start making chapters up, experiences that didn't happen. What do you do, right? I think they'll be happy with the book you write. Look at it a different way. Look at it more like you can write another book. You can write a second version. You say, here's what I haven't worked out yet. How do I get people off stage? I can take them off stage if I wanted to, really. If you want to come off stage, let me know. I guess I have to offer that to my friends from now on, right? Who's loving Jay's book? So Lou's loving your book, the table. Okay, excellent. Lou's loving the coffee table concept. That's not Jay's route. That's Jay's anthology. Yes, Jay, or was that one of your earlier ones?
Yeah. So that was one of the earlier ones, an anthology that I was included in, and it was it's a picture book. But here's another coffee table book. But look at the amount of pages, right? We're talking about, oh my gosh. Yes, it's huge. It's 208 pages.
That's not that bad. I think, again, I think this tells me that the paper you choose matters. It's all about choices, right?
This is
thickness.
Oh yeah, this is gloss. This is highfalutin, highbrow stuff. So this was my contribution, right? And it's a couple of pages. Let me see. And so that's some of the stuff I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's huge. Like, this thing is huge. But it's to grab somebody's attention as they're looking down at the coffee table.
Yeah, well, it's got to be big, but thankfully there's no more coffee tables. And are there coffee tables still these days? You asked earlier, Jay. No, I haven't got one. I don't think.
You have a coffee table in front of your couch.
Yeah, between your couch and your TV.
Something down.
The side tables.
What? Okay.
I got tables on the side.
I have a coffee table in front of all three of my couches. So, I love coffee table books. I like nobody's business. And most really high-end restaurants, at least here in Chicago, offer these amazing they're more photography books about food or their drinks, and I think those are the best coffee table books, along with gardening books, but not everyone agrees with me.
Yeah, everyone's agreeing about Jay's book being great, I think, and Natalie also. I'm gonna try and make sense of the comments. I wish you were in the studio. You say yourself, Tolu and Joni, you're both on stage. Don't post the comments. Just say it out loud, right?
Oh, well.
We can definitely say that.
Just interrupt me if you have to. Just say what you're gonna say. Tell Jay you love his book. Don't make me have to read it out for you. Listen to that.
Well,
I'm more work
Jay
for any
knows.
school.
I
Ah,
think the world of
no.
intellect. So I think I was just kind of saying it on the side so you could continue with your little rant about no coffee tables.
It's all right. You've been quiet for too long. What
Yeah.
do you want to say about book sizes, and what are you thinking for your book?
It's like so much inspirational for me. Jay, I haven't got that copy because I was never a book reader in my life, but I'm working on my because now after like hearing everybody's advice, like how it should be, um, and it's a non-fictional book which I'm writing because some real stories of my father's veteran life, and then then our stay there in Karachi for 24 years. So I was being like I was when I started writing. Um, Cyrus was there to help me out a little bit. He told me something. He said, "What should be the template? How it should be? It should be the template." He said, "It's okay. Just start writing. It's not about templates or anything. You are the templates, Sarar. What are you waiting for? I mean, if you have so many stories." Then Baba was not here. Baba is not here anymore, Jay. He's gone. Last year, he departed us. So I have to collect those stories of Baba because never got that chance to collect those stories. So one of the reason, we came here to Lahore, this city, is to connect with all those Baba's friends, to collect all those heroic stories of him in the past, what he was doing in 1971, the war between India and Pakistan. And he was like being posted there in Bangladesh, in East Pakistan, so-called Bangladesh now. So just to connect with his postmates, his friends, to get those stories and to put them in the book. You're right. You're right. But this session is so powerful that now I can understand that it should not be that 300 pages or 400 pages. It should be something that you know to keep doing
It's
these sessions. We need them.
it's like fine dining. Okay, if you ever, and this is it might trigger some people, but fine dining, right? If you ever watch some of those chef shows and cookie shows, right? The portions are tiny, itty bitty, like it would never fill you up. It would never fill you up. But the taste and the flavor of it is immense. And that's what they're going for. It's the taste and the flavor, not necessarily the portion size. It's also the presentation. And so that's what we're talking about here. I'm just kind of using the analogy of food, but it really is the flavor of your book that's important, not the portion size, because it's something that and using the analogy of food, that is easily to be digested by us, right? Sitting there and trying to read 300 or 400 pages, right, can be daunting for some people, especially in this day and age. And so having it at a reasonable size for people to read is going to be much more appealing to your audiences. And so that's something to consider when you're writing these books.
I agree. I agree, and I agree entirely. So look, I think part of me thinks it's a case of learning how to tell a story. I really do. Because Jay was talking about this the other day in his room. Was it Friday or no Tuesday? Right? No, on the Google Meet thing, right? That session that we had, Jay. Saying that I think we need to learn how to tell a story by having a goal at the end. So Zara, the question is, what do you want them to know? What do you want them to be able to do after reading this? Right? And
Yes.
then that will sort of focus what you tell them. Because we can never tell everyone everything. I'm saying, you want to write, about, something, your dad's life stories, for example. I'm saying you're gonna have to choose bits to tell them, the important bits. In Jay's words, the bits
So
of
it could be a chapter. So it could be some
the-
chapter where I can write something about, like one chapter where I can write about father's heroic stories, and one chapter about what we suffered there in Karachi for 24
yes,
years. One chapter about Anna Rohina.
yes.
Yeah.
But even then, Zara, you're gonna have to choose moments from those headings, if that makes sense, right? The time in Karachi, you can't write about every day, every minute of every day. You're gonna have to choose. Okay, what's the main point I'm trying to get across at the end of the book? Do I want them to learn resilience? Do I want them to learn about racism? Do I want them to learn about the country? And then you choose the stories that lead to that conclusion. It's a lot of people who just start telling the stories as if they want to tell everything. I don't think, if a book's more than 100 pages, Jay, and I'm going to fall asleep. That's the
Right.
truth, right?
So during that conversation, what I learned in the process of writing this book and being a part of anthologies is to deconstruct your story. Start from the end, not the beginning. The end is going to be the part where you're trying to figure out, what do you want your audience to come away with from this story? Right. And so that's really important. The other part that Ennie's talking about is choosing the pivotal moments in that chapter of you and your family living in Karachi. Don't focus on, did we use toothpaste in the morning today? And what type of toothpaste was it? Right. And then what did we do after we used the bathroom? No, the
No,
devil is
don't do that.
right.
Don't do it.
The devil is in the details, really, right? It's going to be difficult for the reader to follow because they don't want the mundane. They want to be able to get to that point in the story that's going to be meaningful to them. And brushing your teeth is fine because, we love you to be hygienic, but that's not the point. The point is to get to the details that are pertinent to what you want people to come away with your story.
Yeah, I can see Tulu's thinking. So, Tulu, what do you want to add to the conversation? Please feel free.
No, absolutely. I completely agree, But, the thing is, when you're telling a story, sometimes you get carried away with okay, it's kind of like, I do marriage counseling, right? The difference between men and women. Like, men are really about the details, not the details, the specifics, where are we going with this? What's the point? Just give it to me in bullet points. And the woman wants to tell the full story. She wants you to know exactly how she felt. She wants to explain every nuance and the way the woman looked at me was like, she made me feel small and she has this attitude. And, I want you to get the whole thing so you feel how I felt. And many men are just like, okay, you know what? Can we move on? What else is there? I really have other things to do. It's kind of like that. You're telling a story, you do want to communicate some of the imagery, some of the experience, was it sunny? Was it cold? How did it feel in that sense? But you don't want to go so far that we start wondering, why are we even here? Why do we need to know about the weather in Karachi? Or what is the point? Where are we going? I'm tired of this. How many pages of this do I have to deal with? So it's an art, probably more than a
You're
science.
right. You're right. It's like what I did. One of the part was like one of the chapter I wrote about my late brother when we lost him in 2014. I cannot remember each and everything, but there were like some miracles that happened that night. That night we lost him. I saw some 7 shooting stars, and I was sitting somewhere. like few stories which I mentioned in that chapter where, so it's like I'm going with chapters, but it's not that big. It's like I know I can sync it, I can format it, I can bring it down to the correct size, and I still have to edit it a lot. And now that's another chapter of Lahore where I'm right now with the whole family. I brought the we shifted here, so I'm not going to write each and every day, but some things which are going to take some good message to the audience, right?
Yeah, the ones that are going to help you say achieve the goal that you're trying to achieve. Convey the message that you want to convey. I think that Natalie says, which I agree with. I'm sure we all do, right? Know your reader. Choose your words wisely, and some people can say things beautifully. When I write, I'm very wordy. That's why I like to talk rather than write. So I like to dictate and transcribe my voice, because when I try and write stuff, I think a lot of us can be either too wordy or we are too short. Because the whole thing about trying to tell a story without going over the top, and trying to tell a story without boring our readers to death, not making mistakes, making sure it's powerful with impact. You can get people rather stuck. It's much easier. Joining on mute. It's much easier for me to just talk, because I can talk normally without waffling too much, unless I want to waffle. In which case I do, right?
Yeah. So, oh yeah. Oh, good. This is a good comment. So, absolutely, I agree. The first rule of engagement is know your audience. Okay. So obviously, there are going to be, opportunities to give that depth, right? So one of the other rules is to show, don't tell. And when you're writing a book, how does that wait? What do you mean show, don't tell? And that's where you can be descriptive, right? That sensory depth that people kind of crave in these books. What was it like? Is it the dead of winter, right? Where this hunter is going out there and trying to survive the wilds of Alaska, right? You're going to need to understand the setting, right? So you're definitely going to have to dive deep into that. But it's a balance, right? It's a balance. You don't want to get totally into the descriptions of the scene and you lose the characters and you lose the content of the interaction in getting so deep into the description of the scene. And that's something that I that you'll need to kind of gauge. And sometimes that's important when you're dealing with editors, your publisher, and definitely an accountability partner who can read through it and say, "Oh man, man, you lost me all the way into brushing my teeth side to side instead of up and down." There's really right. So I'm being a little I'm making a little joke about it, but it's true though. You can't go really too deep into those details where you get lost in the actual interaction between the characters in the story.
It's a skill, Joe. Taking people to lose their self. You have to take them to the moments that you're talking about. Which is skill to not waffle too much and use up spaces and people's energy for the sake of it. It's just keeping it very focused, right? They say that having other people read the book is normally a good way to find a happy medium between your crazy way and what people really want. Yeah, I said, look, our time has gone. So our next party for those in the audience and for those on stage is we're going to do this year in review event in an hour, in 45 minutes. So do join us. If 2024 has been a year of impact for you, then join us. Let's share some of our achievements, some of our transformations. Let's help others learn what we can help them learn. I know what I'm saying, right? Like, let's come and share your stories. Let's see what they're going to take away from it. What have we learned? How have we grown? So let's Paulette's going to be there. I think Dr. Islam's going to be on stage as well. So come along and share your stories. Now that my friends on stage have been on stage, it's much less scary now, Tulu, right?
No, it wasn't scary to begin with. I just wasn't sure what to do.
Okay, so our next marriage room will be on the live, so it's all right.
Gosh. Okay, I hadn't thought of that one. But
Well, that's
right.
that's all I'm thinking about. And you're on stage, so at least you've seen, and you're not camera shy to the worst degree. Some people are, by the way. Literally, no, I'm not. I'm never gonna come on stage. I'm like, calm down. It's only a camera. Turn it off. It's fine. No one's gonna kill you. So it's all good. How you doing, Peter? Glad you're here. What's Lisa saying? That's a good way to look at ebooks. Yeah, I agree. Don't be doing freebies. Right? Put it on Amazon and put a $1, $2 charge on it, at least. And something's better than nothing, right? Amazon might well say they charge more, but that's how it is, right? My friends, our time has come to an end. And look, I could give you a long waffle about what you might want to do when it comes to book sizes. I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to say to you is most authors know when they finish writing their book. When the pen stops, your story is complete. That's a long and short.
And is it true? And is it true that the more you give time to your book, the more it gets the more it's more it gets more deeper? Is it true? Like, because I know you have been writing your book for 10 years, maybe more.
My first one's that the other book that I wrote the second one is gonna taking me probably about 10 years. The one on pricing. I hope Dr. CJ is still here. We're having. I'd love to have a conversation with Dr. CJ about pricing and discounts. Because then I had to respond to her post this morning. It's a conversation I don't know. So that book's been there for years. Does more time equals a better book? Potentially. It depends whether you're working on the book in that time, right? If the book's just gathering dust on the shelf, then what can I say? In Jay's real words, you can't polish a turd. If it's a turd on day one, it's still a turd when you go and look at it 10 years later, right? If I'm working on the book, I guess again someone else will read the book in the meantime. Sorry, Jay.
Yeah, just quickly, I just want to say you're right. Sometimes there's a point where you have to say, okay, enough. I got to just stop, because if you don't, you're going to keep going back in there and finding more things to mess with. And so as the creator, you've got to go, okay, let me just stop, let it go out there. And so you're going to hear it. This is probably the second time I'm going to say this. I'm already working on a follow-up to this book, The Rules of Engagement. And so it's going to be a workbook, but it's all the stuff that I just like, no, I can't. No, let me just stop. Let me put it in this other book, because you're right. The more you get engaged with the print that's already there, you're like, oh, maybe I should have put this in there. Maybe I should do this. No, be done with it. Move on.
Move on to the next book. Write more books.
I mean, imagine having that with 10 authors, right? Remember, with lessons we learned from COVID-19. So everybody just kept wanting to tweak, and you have to set a deadline, otherwise you will never get that book out.
It's even now. I tell every client, every time you touch a book and make a change, I'm gonna make you read the whole book again. And they're like, why? I'm like, because you made a change. You make a change, I make a change, the book changes. You must read it to make sure everything's still in place. I'm not going to do that for you. That's your job. And they're like, oh, okay, I'll leave it alone then. So it's a good way to look at books. When it's done, it's done. If you have to improve it and make changes, then you can later on, right? Again, as Jackie says, beware of adding flabby content. wasteful words, wasteful ideas, wasteful stories. Don't be adding those. Jackie will help you make sure your book is super tight. That's what she does. Focus to the point is what that's her thing. Look, my friends, thank you so much. You made my day. All now, Zara, now you're always a great supporter on these lives. I'm touched, really I am. So just having anyone come on stage makes my day, because I think it hopefully dispels the myth for some people that this is some sort of miraculous thing that's going to destroy them from within. It's not true. It's a live event thing. That's all it is, right? And we can make it like audio rooms. People come on stage, people fall off stage, and people all go and get on with their business. Thank you so much. Look, do join this conversation. I'd love to hear how your 2024 has gone. You don't have to share what you don't want to share.
Sorry, Annie, please, just a bit of education, and it's not really on the subject, right? But
please feel free.
What's the capacity? How many people can come up stage at a time?
So I think on a paid StreamYard, you can have 10 people in the studio. You can put 10 on stage technically, but if it comes to that, I normally want to take people off stage to put other ones on. I think what we have here, 5 people, is normally enough, right? I mean, it's good enough for us to have a conversation, not too disruptive,
right? And
no one's waiting way too long to be heard. So when we get to 10, when someone leaves the studio, someone else can come in.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite flexible in that sense. We can't have audio rooms were pretty similar, if you ask me. Raising your hand, you have 13 on stage, 17. If you walk past 10 and start crashing, so it's all of that. A quick question for you today, as we round up. Most of your books, the first 12, the first 10 at least, are kids' books, right?
Yes.
Are they similar size and format and word count and so on?
Yes, similar, ranging from about 24 pages to 37, 38, something like that.
Okay. So now, have you created a book series?
Yeah, so there's actually 2 series for the children's books. You have the ones for the younger ones. It's called the Little Bloomers series, and then you have the older ones, Bloom and Excel. Yeah.
Superb. Now the reason I ask, because I think when you're writing a series or when you're publishing a series, you want the books to be very similar.
Yeah.
Similar size, similar layout, similar form, similar. That way, the reader knows when they look at book 1 and book 3, these are parts of the same family of books. You don't want to create a book one is 100 pages, book 3 is 600 pages. I'm saying you don't want to have a big difference between them.
Right.
Paulette's 3 books, they're the same essentially. Even if the first 3 pages are the same. Because that's what there's Jack and Water books, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do bear that in mind when in terms of sizes and dimensions.
Yeah,
I'll say that for sure.
And Annie, I gotta leave. I have to join.
Yeah, I'll let you go, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Annie.
being
Thank you,
star.
Thank you, everybody.
You're a
There is
star.
another event.
No,
there's another event that is going on the it's by Malik Rashid. He's a Facebook powered entrepreneur, or the one who talks about Facebook ads and all. So he invited me. He said, "Why don't you come here?" And
rush along. Share the link, and if you share the link with me, then I'm sure some of us put the link in the comments. And some of us might come along to come and see what. I think we all Tolu, Jay, we all need to learn the different tricks people have on these lives.
Facebook ads. He's all about Facebook ads. He's here in Lahore. So I went to his office. He's a nice guy, Malik Rashid. So I'm going to share the link here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you, Zara. Thank you, everyone. I don't want to keep you any longer than I have to, really. So I'm close to saying, you do you. Let people read your book and let people advise you. You know what feels right. Don't write more than you need to write, and let's leave it there, right? If you write too many words, I'll tell you. When it comes to editing, 1,000 words is too many. I don't know. Less than 24 pages is, it's too little. 1,000 pages, Jay. It's too many. 1,000 words. those books are thousands of words, right? You know, look, let's leave it there. Look, let's talk again in 2 weeks' time. I'm going to be talking to most of you in the events we're going to run anyway. So I'm excited. I really am. You know, yay! Jay came on stage and Tolu came on stage, and I've also eaten my peanuts as well. So I'm all right. I'm munching away on my peanuts as we speak. I'm going to get a cup of tea quick and then invite for my next event. I hope you two will be there. The 2024 conversation. Tolu, you're on mute.
Sorry,
I'll
I
be
have,
here.
I have a 6 o'clock meeting, so I don't know,
Okay.
except if I pop in briefly and leave, but I have to leave at 6.
Okay, no, thank you. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad to. I'm relaxed now. I'll let you go. Enjoy your evening, my friends. If I don't see you, then if I see you, I'll be even happier. You know, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much,
Thank
all
you,
of you.
everybody.
So bye, everyone. Jay, are we doing a room tonight? The answer is yes, right? You're on mute, Jay. You're on mute. Okay.
Yes, I did. I
You
posted
got to share
it.
the link, my friend. You got to share the StreamYard link. You got to share the links. How am I meant to know?
Ah. Okay, hold on.
We'll talk
I'll share
later.
it with you. Okay.
Excellent. I'm on stage with you, now, so I have to be on stage anyway.
Right.
Free live. So be there half an hour earlier, Jay.
Okay.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. I
Bye-bye.
appreciate you all. Bye, everyone.